school. This one has a rule. Everyone under the sun, everyone must have fun. Learning must be fun. Whenever I teach, I make sure that our students understand that if they're not having fun through the process of learning, if they're not enjoying it, then it's not very effective. We have to understand the purpose of what we are working towards. This is often also why I ask my learners at the beginning of our time together during the introduction to speak of their dreams, so that we can tailor the learning towards where their desires, passions, wants, and needs lie. So today we're going to look at pronunciation very briefly by way of revision. We started at looking at the train of our thought traveling to the station of comprehension, following two rails, that of root and context, looking into a word and looking around a word, parsing the word, as well as seeing what is its relationship with its surrounding in order to arrive at meaning. Then we also saw that this, as we work with words, we can also work with parts of speech in the same way to get understanding so that we can converse better, because comprehension is key to conversation. Today we'll be looking at pronunciation, and especially at how cultural context has an impact upon our conversation skills, and how we must be aware of our environment and where we come from, and the pitfalls that must be avoided in order to improve our conversation skills, especially our pronunciation. If I come from Russia and my name is Boris, I should know that in certain ways when I say, "How are you today?" I am pronouncing words in a way that might say and very clearly show that I am from Russia. When I come from France, there is another accent, there is a different music. My culture is a different culture than yours in England. So it's important when we hear ourselves to measure our pronunciation with that which we attain to, whether it's an English accent or whether it's an American accent. I also ask my students which accent they prefer, and so I will cater to their desire around the specific accent that they would like to learn. So when we speak about the car is driving very fast, for example, I tell them, well, this is where we have the difference. The British would say the car is driving very fast. The Americans would say the car is driving very fast. Fast, baths, different examples of where pronunciation differs according to culture, context, etc. For the French learners, the main things I focus on from the beginning are tendencies we have in French to impose the same paradigms on English as we have in French. In how certain vowels are pronounced, nearly always in French, it's not the case in English. I show learners that English does not always follow rules. We have phonetic languages that stick to the rules when it comes to pronunciation. Latin languages such as Italian and Spanish are much more phonetic than English, for example. I would then take a word like enough and I would juxtapose its pronunciation with that of through, or though, or cough, which has the same O-U-G-H ending in the spelling, but everyone is pronounced differently. And then I'll also show that through can also be pronounced trough, as in that which an animal feeds from, a mangeoire in French. The big oopsies in French pronunciation with sounds that we don't have in French, such as the or these, or through, the th. We don't have that in French. So the French person will say, "I go through," or "This is very nice." So there already we see the z or the th being imposed upon the th in English. Unfortunately, during the time of COVID-19, we've got to wear masks, so it takes so much away from that visual connection when we can say, now follow the movement of my mouth when I say, and where the tongue is put where on the palate or behind or in front or over the teeth, the top or the bottom. So I've got to explain all of this, but the sound, I would often say it's like a little mosquito. Everybody together. I'll go around listening. Are you? Is your? Or is, no, it's not. It's the. Get it? The. You got it? The. No. Come on. The. It's not glottal, so it's not with sound. It's just through, throw. 13. It's not 13. It's 13. 13. The. 13. You got it? Perfect. So TH is a big deal, and it's something we spend a lot of time. I continually have to get back to TH. It's a work in progress with most students, but it's fun. The other one in French would be the presence or the absence of the H. I tell my students, embrace the H, make the H your friend. The H is our friend. Do not put the H where it is not, and do not take it away where it is. And then I would write 3 words on the board, and I'd ask Thierry or Luca or Mathilde to read it. Often they would read it in the 3 words in the following way: I am angry. I am angry. And then I'd say in French, salut, I am jambon, angry, en colère. Salut, jambon, en colère. And then they'd crack up laughing because on the board is written, I am hungry. I am hungry. But in French, there is a tendency when we speak English to put H's where they're not and to take the H away where it is. This is because in French we do not pronounce the H most of the time. And the vowel pronunciation is often started with an H. Another thing is French is so incredibly musical. It's a lovely language. It's a passionate language. It's a language of poetry. We take time when we speak because relationship and communication is so important, and everything that develops in France that is of worth takes time, right? The wine, the cheese, it takes time. So often in our culture, it'll be a slower culture. We'll take more time to express something, and we'll take longer to say certain words. It's cultural. Another very important point that I make with the students is that language is about attitude and culture. You've got to, if you want to speak English, it's fast, it moves, it's business-like, it's to the point. I'd ask the student, where do you want to go? I want to go to Cuba. Why Cuba? Okay, so it's Cuba. Like in French, the U is the same way. But most of the times when we meet a U in English, in French it would be U. Future, culture, U. With a little whistle, U. The U is like a skate ramp. You're on the skateboard and you're going into the ramp and you're taking your time. It's future, culture. In English, it's you fall off of the skateboard. And so it's not U, it's up. It's culture, future, up, under. Because very often in French we'd say up or under, or future or culture, because we have that same approach. Now Cuba is you, which again, most of the times though, you're not in English, is not on the skateboard, English is off the skateboard. We look at the H, we make sure it's pronounced when it's there, and it's not pronounced when it's not there. In French, it's not pronounced when it's there, and it's put into places in front of vowels when it shouldn't be there. We take care to focus that the and the is not z or s. When I work with Russian students, the H is there, but it's ch. How are you? I'm hungry. Because the H is often transcribed as the ch sound. by being dramatic about like the mosquito, the skate ramp, the thud, the English is to the point. English is quick, it's brazen, it's brutal sometimes, whereas French is musical. So today I brought the guitar, as I do to class. When it comes to pronunciation, depending on which class I have, if the learners are IT, so information technology students, then we go to the latest breaking news items and we'll project that, and we might look at the CES tech show, and we'll deal with vocabulary from their subject line, of course, but it has to be something of interest. And again, always making sure that everybody participates, that we're going around the class in a way that does not neglect anybody, especially the introverts, the timid students, the shy learners. In some of the other classes where we're not too many, I might ask them, well, hey, let's do a song today. And if I have my guitar with me, we'll project the words and we'll sing the song together. It's fascinating how many know English songs that they've learned, or they can mimic some of the words. They might not get the pronunciation right, but often they don't understand what they're singing. And this is where it's important and it's fun to stop and to analyze the words by applying the roots and the context comprehension methodology. I think that's good for today. It's raining in Normandy, as it often does, but I've got to go for a walk to get some exercise for the day. So, see you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in again today. Remember to subscribe and share this video with others. Au revoir.